with that, April.
Until next time, we'll stay on call and you stay well.
Nope.
Nope, I said that backwards.
That's all right. I was studying too.
Killing it
Let me
today.
go back.
This is On Call.
Wow, this would be really cool to just wear scrubs all the time. Then you don't have to think about what you're going to wear to work. Joke
That's
is
awesome.
We're here to answer your questions.
We can sit down and discuss all. Wait, I gotta go. I'm on call.
Wait, you're on call? I thought I was on call.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of On Call with April and Alicia. I'm April.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tony.
Hey.
We have a guest.
Welcome, Tony. Welcome to the call room.
We're so excited to welcome Dr. Tony Briningstool. He is our CEO of emergency medicine here at Sound Physician. So, Tony, we're super excited to have you today. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's a privilege. Thank you for having me.
Yes, little check-in. April, how have you been? I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever.
I know, it has been a while. I'm good.
It's been a crazy week. Tony, how are things with you? We were just talking weather, all things weather, as I love to discuss around the United
Alicia's
States.
the meteorologist in the call room.
Tony, I'm a meteorologist. We talk about the weather every episode.
That's awesome. Weather's good. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. And as you guys know from my conversation earlier, we had a little power outage this morning, but all is good.
Nice. Everybody's safe.
Yes.
April has people mowing the lawn, so we know it's sunny and possibly warm where she is.
It is. It's beautiful here. We're like 80s. Perfect weather.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've got a kind of action-packed episode today. So do you want to just jump into ice breaking?
Yes. Let's break the ice.
All right. Let's break the ice. April, Tony, what we do is we do a little icebreaker session. We ask you some questions, just a little spitfire. These are fun and cheeky. Just gives us a chance to loosen up before we get into, maybe some meatier conversation. So April and I will both ask you two questions. Just answer the first thing you think of.
Perfect.
All right, April, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So I always start with an easy one, Tony. So what is the coolest place you've ever traveled and why?
Coolest place I ever traveled and why would be the Hawaiian Islands and specifically Black Sand Beach.
Okay.
It was really cool. And we went there for our 25th wedding anniversary. We did the 7-day cruise through the Hawaiian Islands. We took our kids with us and we discovered a family of sea turtles on Black Sand Beach, which was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Did you say Kona, Tony?
But
Kona Island?
Yes.
Kona, Kona, Kona.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. Yeah, we have a site in Kona. That's why I just recognized the name. So Black Sand Beaches. All right, April, we need to sign up and work at Kona.
I know. I've been to Hawaii, but we went to Oahu. So
yeah.
Oh, nice. All right.
I actually got
question.
engaged in the beach in Oahu.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. And then Tony had his wedding anniversary, 25 years. How many years have you been married now, Tony?
31.
All right.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Congrats. Okay, I'm going to ask you one. If you could have dinner with any historical figure, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Ronald Reagan, President Reagan.
Ooh. Tell me why.
Oh, I think he is one of the greatest presidents we have had, at least in my my perspective. And I think he's just a fascinating individual. And I think it would be fun to just have dinner and have conversation. Yeah.
And he was an actor.
Yes, he was.
Wow, he did like everything.
Yes.
Yep, pretty fascinating.
And he was really a consensus team builder. And I think that's a great strength of his. And I admire that.
Nice. Okay.
Awesome.
April, what you got?
All right. If you could meet any professional athlete, any sport, who would it be and why?
That's a great question. If top of mind comes Travis Kelce, tight end.
Okay.
I could help you there. He's from Cincinnati.
So he's from Cincinnati. As many of you probably know, my son's a tight end and at Clemson, and he's going into his senior year, and he's a big Kansas City Chiefs fan, big Travis Kelce fan, and it would be kind of neat to, because of that connection, it'd be kind of neat to meet him. Then my daughter, I'd like to ask about Taylor Swift because my daughter's a Swift. She's
Okay.
13 years old. She's been to all the Taylor Swift concerts,
Oh, wow.
including the Eras tour.
The Eras tour. Did you take her?
I took her. Well, uh,
Oh,
time for a quick story.
Yeah.
yes.
So we got her for her birthday, birthday/Christmas. We got her tickets to the Eras tour, so she could see Taylor Swift here, and she was obviously super excited. Well, as it was getting closer, for we gave them to her Christmas time, and the concert wasn't until May, I think.
hmm
So as it was getting closer and closer, we said you have 4 tickets. You can take any of your 3 friends you want to take. Well, she wanted to take mom and dad and her boyfriend. So
Oh,
Oh,
got to go. And I was kind of surprised I was going to get to go see Taylor Swift, but I'm glad I did.
wow. What'd you think
did
of
you
it?
like it?
I went
Oh,
with Juliana too. I'm curious to know your thoughts.
unbelievable show, incredible performer.
Yep.
He is iconic in every way and
hmm
has revolutionized the music industry,
Music.
but
She's so talented.
also a culture driver. And I think she's just hard not to be a fan of hers. So
Mhm.
she is just crossed generations. She's crossed music genres. She has really just been a positive light for so many. And the
Mm.
fact she's dating Travis Kelsey now too makes it kind of fun that she's got a tight end boyfriend. So very,
Yeah.
There you go.
So you have a football history, right, Tony?
I do.
Tell me, I'm going to scratch my last question. I just want to know about that. Tell me about your athletic past.
So if it's okay, I'll just kind of tell you my story. And
Yeah, let's go.
and football is a big piece of it because I probably wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the doors that football opened for me. So just real quick, I grew up in a small town in Michigan called Northville. It's probably 30 miles outside of Detroit, and we grew up pretty unassuming. Poor as the word I would use. And
Mhm.
early on, I mean, my parents were hardworking parents, but I have 2 brothers, and we just didn't have much. We lived in a 2-bedroom house and shared
Mhm.
a bedroom with my 2 brothers my whole life. And but along the way, I just really had a desire to help people. There was just influences that I had that sort of I wanted to be a doctor. I didn't know what kind of doctor. I didn't know what I would do as a doctor. I just liked what I saw on TV when I watched some of those shows like Emergency 911.
Oh, I love that. Rescue
That
911 too and all the oh yes.
you just saw people, doctors helping people, and I loved it. And I love the energy of uh, the events that happened and the unexpected. So long
Yeah.
story short, I'm also an athlete, but going through finishing up high school, I had the privilege to be recruited to play college football, and I knew I wanted to do pre-med. So as I was looking at schools to play, pre-med was an important piece of that
Mm,
conversation. And so I looked at, I was fortunate to be recruited by, 80 Division I schools, and
nice.
really centered in around. I grew up in the Midwest, so I wanted to focus in on Midwest schools. And in that recruiting process, Michigan State had a coach who was a defensive coordinator back in 1987 named Nick Saban. And most people will know who Coach Saban is these days. And I was really, really fortunate to be recruited by him and Coach Perlis. And being a linebacker, he being a defensive coordinator, and it being close to where I grew up, I went to Michigan State on an official visit, and it changed everything. So Coach Saban, from the very
Yeah.
first moment I met him in person, he said, "Tony, I know you want to be a doctor." He said, "Before we talk football, let's talk medicine. And you're going to have dinner tonight with chief of the emergency department here at Sparrow Hospital in the community.
Hmm.
And you're going to meet the dean of the medical school tomorrow. You'll sit down and we'll show you how we can, walk through all of your pre-med requirements here, match it with college football and Michigan State as a medical school too." So, wanted to make sure that I could see that they had the whole picture sort of laid out for me. So easy decision for me. I didn't pick
Wow.
Notre Dame or Michigan. I picked Michigan State, and so I was going to be a Spartan. And interestingly enough, that physician I met when I was 18 years old, his name is Dr. Michael Clark. And Michael has been a dear friend of mine my entire life, just a tremendous influence on me. And Michael was the chair of the emergency department at Sparrow Hospital. He was the first residency trained, board certified emergency medicine physician in Michigan. He trained under a physician named Dr. John Wittgenstein, who is one of the founding fathers of our specialty, emergency medicine. And all this happened in Lansing, Michigan. And so, unbeknownst to me, I was going because they had just expressed an interest in supporting me and my desires. but little did I know what God had in store, that I would meet legends in the field of emergency medicine. And so
Awesome.
they were great influences on me. I went on to finish up there. Went to Georgetown for medical school. That's where Michael had gone to medical school, so I wanted to go there. Came back and did my residency at Michigan State with Michael and the group there, and then and that was it. So had a great time playing college football, playing for Coach Saban and Coach Perlis, and other coaches who were instrumental in my life. But when you think about the combination of being a college athlete and particularly in football, it really I understand at a really deep level the power of team, and coached and mentored by legends both from football as well as in medicine. Just understanding the privilege we have to serve and lead others, and so that's really what's helped mold me into the physician leader I am today.
Wow. And what was your position?
I was a linebacker, so
Okay.
not much talent. I could just tackle everything.
Yeah, that's talent. I think I saw a picture of you recently. I don't know where you were. Maybe you were in Dallas with all the teams that met there.
Yeah.
And I was like, my gosh, he's so tall. It's like we just see each other on, these teams meetings, but I didn't realize like this guy is tall. How tall are you?
So I'm 6'5",
Okay.
and my son is 6'7". So yeah, Jake makes me look short.
He's like a whole
Interesting.
foot taller than me. When I meet him in person, I have to like look up at Tony. To him.
That part of my story, I'll just tell you really quick, is, aside from that, is also at Michigan State, I met Trish in English class my freshman year. Best class I ever took. Walked in, saw her.
Aww.
There's an open seat next to her. That was mine. And that was it. So
The rest was history.
all history. So we dated through college and we got married after my first year of medical school. We have 3 beautiful kids. Our oldest son is Mitchell. He's 24 and he's finishing up at the University of Tennessee. And Jake, you've heard me talk about, he's 21 and finishing up at Clemson. And then our daughter Julia is 19 and she just finished her freshman year at Michigan State. And so she's a legacy Spartan.
Hey, she went to Michigan State as well.
She did.
That's awesome. And she's a Swiftie, so we love her. We'll have to bring her down to Cincinnati when Kelsey and Taylor are in town.
Yeah.
They did their podcast here not too long ago. I don't know if you saw that. He and Jason, they did it live at Nippert Stadium down at UC. So pretty cool.
For the 2 brothers to do that, not only as good as they are at football, but they're really fun together too. So the podcast.
They really are. They're pretty entertaining.
Yes.
I have to say, not as entertaining as April and I, though, but
Of course.
they're okay. I mean, we could date Taylor too, couldn't we, April? Just kidding. Well, Tony, so I love the story, the background, how football got you into leadership. How'd you get to Sound?
Great question. So I had known John Brookmeyer for many years. As you might know, I was part of American Physician Partners. I was the chief medical officer for them. And as American Physician Partners was winding down, it was an opportunity for me to look for a new opportunity. And so I reached out to John. I've always been a big fan of what Rob and team have built here, and had a few other connectors in with Sound, and that led to this opportunity. So when I knew there was an opportunity, I was super excited about that, and really thrilled to have the privilege to lead as the CEO for emergency medicine and really lead our emergency medicine team. So as you probably know, I joined back in January. So, I'm still on my first 6 months, but we've made a lot of tremendous progress here in the first quarter of 2024. We have a terrific team, great leaders, and great support across Sound. As I've gotten to know you two, and incredibly privileged to get to work alongside of you, but just really, really thankful for the opportunity to be here and be a part of the team.
Thanks. I like that. And welcome to the team. It's been great having you here. It feels like January was just a month ago, but geez, Pete, look at where we are. All right.
Nice.
We've got these questions that we just wanted to ask. We're in honor of Men's Health Month. We wanted to pick your brain a little bit about your ER experience and maybe intertwine that with a little men's health question. So I just wanted to start by asking, how have your skills and experiences that you've gained as an ER physician helped you as an executive now?
That's a great question. And much of that I've probably already hinted do just based on, influences I've had and mentors I've had in my life, and really grateful for all of them. But, specifically, in emergency medicine, it's a unique specialty because we have the opportunity to be really the front door of the hospital. We have the opportunity to really see more patients in our service line than any other service line does. So we have a great responsibility to really, what I believe is set the bar of excellence of what that looks like in creating not only an efficient, but a compassionate care experience that's really driving to the highest quality outcomes for our patients. That none of that can be accomplished without a really deep understanding of team and teamwork. And what I love about emergency medicine is, although I'm an emergency medicine physician and we play a critical role in the patient care experience, we can't do it by ourselves. It requires everyone on the team. It requires our advanced practice providers. It requires our nurses, techs, everybody who's a part of the support ancillary staff of the hospital. It takes all of us. It takes a team. And I do believe that the greatest outcomes come from when the team is focused on our patients. And so I love that. And I think what led me into, I like to lead and I like to serve, and I want to meet, an opportunities that present themselves, give me the opportunity to do both. And I think in my specific specialty, in the uniquenesses of what we do, and I think being focused on building high quality teams that can serve well is really what drives my motivation as a leader.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, as a leader, and I think kind of as a healthcare provider in general, it's kind of hard for us to find time to maintain our healthy lifestyle and our overall health. So, Tony, what do you do to maintain a healthy lifestyle for yourself? And has that changed, since you've moved into this executive role?
Great question. It's a focus of mine. I think that we all have to lead by example. So it's hard to tell our patients what we recommend for them to do if we aren't willing to do it ourselves.
Yeah, so practice what you preach, right?
So piece of that. But Trish and I, we're just very active people. I don't know that I have a specific hobby. I think my family is my hobby, but we are active together. So whether that is driveway basketball, playing pickleball, playing golf, hiking, walking our dogs, doing whatever.
Wow.
We're active every day. And I do believe that that's an important part of our overall health, not only our mental health, but certainly our physical health. So I think we just have to make time for it. And when someone says they're too busy to focus in on their own health, you have to help them reprioritize their priorities.
Yeah.
It's hard. You have to make time for it. And it doesn't have to be going to a gym or having a membership or doing something that's, over crazy like that. It can just be being active, being simple, doing simple things, but simple things repetitively can really add up.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think it's easier too when you have somebody that you're doing it with, right? Somebody it doesn't seem as much of a job. You know what I mean? Like
a chore.
Fun to do. Yeah.
It's like if you get out of it, it's hard to get back in, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's if I just have a sedentary day or two, I get out of my workout routine, I get out of just activity. Sometimes it takes a lot of motivation to get me back into it, but I always feel better. I never regret it. That's for sure.
So here's a little insight. So if you said, Tony, what's your favorite thing to go do to decompress? So you see me, I'm 6'5", 245 pounds. I am not built to be a runner, but I like to run, and I like to trail run. I don't really like to I don't like to jog on the street, but I like to trail run.
Okay.
So we've got some parks around here. We're very fortunate, but and they're challenging. I mean, it's sort of running over tree roots and rocks and things like that. But there's I can cover 8 miles within this this park in all different ways, and I love it because I love nature, love being out. I love, it's a time when I can run and pray for my family, pray for our kids. It's a time I can just decompress, think about work, think about things that are happening, but I'm exercising while I'm doing it, and I love the challenge. And I think the nice thing about trail running is you have to be focused because there's ankle breakers everywhere and you don't want to trip and fall. So there's a concentration component while you're exercising. There's the variability of it, which is a challenge. And probably all that just drives back into my, football background. But it's been a solace that I have found that's been great. So just a quick insight for me. I was finished up yesterday and I went on a quick 3 mile, I call it a jaunt, probably better than a run, but the pace I go would not be considered running, but it's good. But it's good for me, and it's great. And so it's just a great way that I can fit that into my day, but it's also good for both mental and physical health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, that can be challenging to get, especially we're again talking about men's health, but maybe getting men maybe men that struggle getting active, and you've kind of shared what you do and why that's important. But what about regular checkups and the importance of those for men, and what men that you believe should specifically be asking their general practitioners during those visits?
Yeah, that's a great question. And as I think about that, what comes to mind is I think of it this way. It's really important to focus in on preventative health,
Hmm.
because there are so many things that we can through routine checkups we can manage much quicker or better on the front end than letting them fester, and then now they turn into a much bigger problem on the back end. So I think preventative health is a key focus. But the other thing, for the same story I do, like I'm not going to the doctor. I don't like doctors, all that, sort of
Right. Right.
thing that comes, you hear every so often. But, I look at it this way that, I've got people depending on me. I've got a family
Hmm.
on me. There's people that I care about and I want to be able to provide and take care of. Part of my responsibility is to make sure I'm focused on my health and focused on doing the things I need to do to make sure that I'm following a schedule based on our age and where we are, to just check in and allow the experts to do what they do and make the recommendations and follow them. So, I look at it like it's a responsibility I have as a father and as a husband, that I need to
Hmm.
be taking care of myself. So that's the encouragement I would give to others: is don't neglect your needs for all the other things that are important in life, because there's people who are counting on you, and
Hmm.
it's important for you to invest in yourself so that you can invest in them.
And what about any specific questions or specific areas? What would you encourage other men to ask their general practitioners about their health, or any specific health related issues that they should zone
Yeah,
in on?
great question. And I don't know that anything specific, condition wise comes to mind outside of
Hmm.
a global umbrella of, you know, make sure that you're getting all your preventative screening done, right? So whether it's
Hmm.
for blood pressure, screening for diabetes, screening for colon cancer, screening for prostate cancer, like all those things fall into that. And depending on what age you're at, there's, those things, are more pertinent as you get older.
Right.
Why it's more important. But look at me, I'm 55 years old, and I get a regular checkup every year, and thankful I'm healthy. But I'm glad I do, because then I have the reassurance and knowledge to know that I am. And if you don't go get checked, then you don't know. And
Yeah.
certainly you
Yeah.
can prevent something early on, by focusing on it as opposed to neglecting it.
And a question, just kind of aside, do you think that men, in your appointments with your general practitioner, do you spend time? Is there a lot of time talking about mental health with men? I've always been curious. I think we're starting to see, I see that more now in my yearly checks with my GP. Just curious if that is still, kind of slightly taboo for men, or are we starting to have this discussion and normalizing that?
That's a great question, and I'll try and speak to it in a general. I'll try and generalize it, but I'll tell you what my own experience has been. Is I think there's a greater awareness right now
Hmm.
across
Yeah.
healthcare, and I think that is a really good thing. And whether this is a push from that was a benefit from the pandemic, or if this is just a timing where we have a greater understanding of the importance of mental health, and
Hmm.
more intentional about speaking to it. I know with my primary care provider, he's a college football player at UCLA. He's an internist here. It's on his list to double check. How's work? How
Hmm.
going? How are you managing stress? How are you? Are you having any signs or symptoms of depression, anxiety, different things? But he'll ask in a thoughtful way. He'll ask the right probing questions to be able to. But he's doing it from an intentional perspective with his patients, to make sure that he's looking in that area and not just neglecting it. And I think, maybe before we weren't as intentional about that in healthcare, but whether it's women's health, men's health, wherever that, truth be told, even with pediatricians and children's health, I think there's a greater intentionality to ask those types of questions and look at mental health as importantly as we look at physical health. And I think that's a good thing. So, I would, I appreciate that we're maturing in that way in medicine. And I think that we're getting better at that. Now, I think the secret is I would encourage all of our colleagues and friends who are listening to this to be open,
Right.
receptive, and be truthful, because you can't, if you're having a challenge, it's important to bring that out and seek the help that may be beneficial to you, as opposed to neglect it or try and hide it, feeling the sign of weakness or whatnot. It's absolutely not. It's just a sign of where a person may be at this particular point in their journey, and that's what we're here to do, is help. And so any opportunity we can to help, we should, but we should also encourage our audience to be receptive to that help, should they be in a position where they need it.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, we can ask the questions, but unless our patients are honest with us, we don't, we don't know.
Yeah.
So,
And I think you're right though. It is normalizing. And I think specifically, one of five, three brothers. We don't, brothers didn't talk mental health. And Tony, what I appreciate, especially with your athletic background, you know, have some like similar experience in my family, but that made it even more challenging to have mental health conversations with some of my siblings or family members, because there was even this more, I was going to say machismo, but that's not really, like, this expectation that not only was I a man, I was, this like
Mhm.
athlete and this machine, that didn't feel, and just, um, it's just been really, it's good to hear, one, that you're advocating for that, and that we are level setting this discussion to include men as
Yeah.
well, not just women.
awesome. Thanks, Tony, for that insight. So, what do you think your advice would be for men who are looking to go into a career in medicine, and specifically, if you have any advice for those looking to go into emergency medicine?
Oh, great question. So, you've already heard my passion about emergency medicine and the role we
Yeah.
play in healthcare. And so I would absolutely unequivocally encourage um, medical students to really explore emergency medicine. It's a wonderful specialty. We get the opportunity to take care of people of all ages, people with all conditions, all walks of life, and really get an opportunity to really help others on a daily basis. And so it's also a fast-paced specialty where, if you're team oriented and adrenaline focused, emergency medicine's a great spot, because no two shifts are the same, no days the same. So
It's true.
there's a lot of, I think that just keeps us young. It keeps us on our toes, and certainly I have found it to be exciting. It's also a wonderful specialty where you can really make a difference in the lives of our patients. Yes, we don't have the longevity of patient relationships, but we have meaningful patient relationships and encounters. We're
Yep.
taking patients at critical points in time in their life, and when it's done with care, compassion, kindness, and expertise, it's a game changer. And so
Hmm.
those are all terrific reasons why I would encourage young physicians or medical students to pursue a career in emergency medicine. And then when you just add on leadership, an opportunity to be in either healthcare administration, health administration, practice administration, or any form of leadership, and whether that's really in emergency medicine or others, I would encourage you to do so. The privilege we have to lead and serve others is a gift. And I think that when those opportunities come, we should take full advantage of those, and really invest in those that, I believe God's entrusted us to influence. And I think the thing that you guys have heard me say this often, but I'll say it again, is, as physicians and physician leaders, we influence an awful lot, even though we don't control it. We don't
Right.
control
Yeah.
it. So recognizing the opportunity we have to really better the lives of others, whether those are people on our team or those are people we serve, is really important. So, I'm putting all the chips at the center of the table for emergency medicine, and I would encourage everyone to really pursue a career in emergency medicine, because it is really dynamic and highly rewarding. And if you get to be in any opportunity to lead, take full advantage of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, medical school is always competitive. And I think, especially now, like I hear about the numbers of people applying to PA school, and it blows my mind. So, as people think about that kind of track, is there any advice that you would give them, to get exposure to medicine, or like a job that you think, like, would get them kind of
Good
higher
entry
up on
level.
that, yeah, like an entry level job or something that they could do to boost their resume while they're working on things?
It's a great question. I think the best advice I would give is, and I've mentored lots of people in medicine, but I think this is it, is that if you're interested in it, pursue it, and then engage in it. And what I mean by that is, if you want to be in emergency medicine, then go volunteer at the hospital. If you want to be in emergency medicine, then go have a job as an orderly or a tech or whatever. Sign up to be on a research team in that area. Just do something to put yourself in the environment. Because if you're intentional about putting yourself in the environment, doors will open for you, relationships will form, things will happen that will allow you to, that will facilitate your success. It's hard to do it if you're not, it's sort of hard to benefit from it if you're not involved in it. So my encouragement is just dive in and put yourself in the environments that you want to be a part of, and good things will happen from that.
Yeah.
I like all that. Tony, I feel like we could talk to you and I could ask you a million more questions, but April will get mad at me. So, is there any final thoughts, any last thoughts, maybe something we haven't talked about that you want to share before we wrap up?
It's a great question. I guess what comes top of mind is just an opportunity to say thank you to you two. So thank you, Alicia. You guys,
thank you.
A great job. It's been such a privilege to be a part of your team and working alongside you. You guys are incredibly talented. I think this is a great venue for that you have picked and are really doing a great job with. It really just helps get good information, a little bit of humor, and better out to our team. So just really applaud and recognize you for the great job you've done there. And it's great to have been your guest today. So thanks so much for thinking.
It was great having you. We love to have fun. We said we would not do this podcast if we were not going to have fun. So if when it stops being fun, we will stop, I promise. But for anybody listening, any questions for Tony, hey, please feel free to reach out to us. You can email us at oncallpodcast@soundphysicians.com, or you can reach us on our growing multimedia empire. I think we're growing a little bit there in the Instagram space. You can follow us. Our handle is at On Call with April and Alicia. Send us your feedback, DM us any thoughts or anything that you have. Also, like and subscribe to our podcast. You can follow us on all podcast platforms. We'd love to see you guys join our team. So with that, April.
Until next time, you stay well and we'll stay on call. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great week.